Can I beat the new 0% AI with the increased tyre wear on F125 using only one set of soft tyres in a 100% race? I have no idea, so let's get started. So here we are in Austria, but this time in reverse on F125 because it's a new feature. And for the strategy, we are, like I said, just going on the soft tyres until the very end, until lap 71 or 70. So I think we've just got to get off straight away, get a good start, build a decent gap whilst also saving our tyres a little bit here. I will say on this year's game, the AI aren't great at starting on a race start. Go around the outside of Sonoda and we take first position. So it's about building a decent gap but not taking too much wear out of our tyres. We need a good balance between the two. So coming on to the beginning of lap 4 now, we're about 24 seconds up on the AI, so I'm not quite sure how long it'll take to lap them, but like I said, we don't want to be pushing these tyres all that much. They're currently on 8% on average. They're not too bad, but it is quite a lot of tyre wear to say we're only lap 4 into the race. We've got another sort of 65, 66 laps to do. So it seems by maybe around lap 10 we should have about 30% tyre wear, which isn't great at all. So if we add that a few times, we're talking maybe about mid lap 30s where I think the tyres are going to be borderline on a puncture. But we're now coming on to the back markers for the first time here. We're coming past Hulkenberg and Behrman's just in front of us, so we need to get through these guys quite swiftly. Whoa, as Sainz comes over on us there. I don't know if we have any damage at all. No, we don't, luckily enough. So we're coming on to the back of the top two now on lap 11. So it seems like by the time we should be getting punctures, should be around about the time we're about 3 laps up on them. So yeah, I think our calculations on target for about 3 laps up. So approaching the back markers for the second time now. The tyres are about on 45% on average, somewhere around there. Whoa, they keep turning in on me there. But yeah, for me, recording this challenge is probably one of the most boring recordings you can do because I'm basically just driving against 0% AI in a 100% race. I think only when it's going to get interesting is when the punches are going to happen, just to see if we can actually finish to the end. But here we are now coming up to George Russell to fully unlap ourselves for the second time if he lets me go. But here we are, fully 2 laps up. You see, the tyre wear on this year's game has actually increased by quite a lot. You can see by our pit window was lap 25 and you can see basically we're almost about 70% on the front left. And we're now catching up to the back markers once again. We've only just passed George Russell, as you can see on the mini-map there. So it seems like our first puncture is probably going to be on the front left. You can see the front left are taking quite a beating around here. And I think this track especially isn't great for tyre wear, if I remember. Remember, the normal layout isn't the best. I think there is quite severe tyre wear around here. So yeah, I probably didn't pick the best track for this. Right, the tyre's at 96% now, so I think at any moment on lap 32, on next lap or the laps after, I think this tyre is going to burst. So we just got to be ever so careful of this tyre, and I don't know really how the car's going to feel because it looks like the right rear is going to go, so we're going to have opposite tyres go on the tyre on the car, so we'll just have to see how it feels. So we are approaching George Russell now for the 3rd time, which I think will be the last time we will lap the front runners if he lets me go here. So 99% is going to happen anytime soon, and there it goes. The front left has gone, I think. Yeah, it's gone at this point, and we're about halfway into the Grand Prix, so we've got to do another half of the Grand Prix on this tyre. Oh, it's so hard to stop. We've just about got it out of the barrier, Jesus Christ. I have a feeling it's going to be a real struggle, and here comes George Russell as well. So I think at this point, there's no real reason to actually save the tyres because they've gone at this point. So, yeah, this is so hard to stop. George Russell has gone past us. Look, I'm not even braking that much, and the front's just completely locking. I don't know at this point the tyre's actually going to fly off the car.
Pressure in the right rear tyre.
Okay, the rear has now gone as well at this point, so this is going to be a real issue to try get over. We just try brake and look at this, we can't do anything. I can't turn the car or anything. We've got basically 30 laps to try keep in front of these guys. Now, I did do this experiment yesterday, and for some odd reason, even though that the opposite tyres, so basically the front right now, will get to 100%, for some reason it seems like you'll only get one puncture on the front or the rear. Because you can see the front right is now at 100%, but it's not going to puncture for some odd reason. I don't know if it's a feature in the game where it's basically impossible to get all 4 tyres punctured, but you can see George Russell on the minimap there is just behind us on the straight, so I think probably by the end of next lap he will be onto the back of us, which should give us about 20 laps, and he's about 2 laps down, so I really have no idea if it's doable or not. I didn't really do any calculations for this. Here comes George now, up the inside. We can't do any defending. So we're coming up to about 15 laps left in this race. George is just coming up to the very top straight, as you can see on the mini map. So he's about halfway to us, so he might get us just before lap 60. So it seems like he takes him about 9 laps to lap us. 9-10, so it should come down to about lap 70, surprisingly. So I think we just need to clean up our driving a little bit more, because we just seem to be, I say clean up my driving, we do have 2 punctures on the car. There's nothing really clean about driving this car. But so George has just passed us, I believe, for the final time. You can see his time has gone down now on lap 59, so we've got about 11 laps here to try still win this race. He did it in about 9 laps that time, so we've got to really get a move on to actually still have a chance of winning this race. So now the timer is at about 1 minute. He's going to drop below 1 minute at this point, as you can see. 7 laps to go. Less than a minute. Alright, we've got the guys in 4th and 5th approaching now, Max and Leclerc, so they're about to unlap themselves for the final time. If Max doesn't take me off the road, just see how much I'm trying, just to try keep it on track as Hamilton goes through. And now Antonelli, we're just losing places left, right and centre at this point. We've got to be careful, we don't want to full on spin it and lose a massive amount of time, otherwise we're going to be quite far down. They're going to take quite a chunk of time out of us, so we've got to be careful with this. Right, we're on lap 66 now. George is 35 seconds behind. It's going to be close. I think he might get us, but I don't really know. Right, so we are now approaching the penultimate lap onto lap 69. It'll only be this and 1 lap after. George Russell is 16 seconds behind us. You can see on the minimap he's on the start-finish straight. We're coming through the first corner, but coming through the final corner to start the final lap now. George is coming down the back straight, as you can see there. He's about just short of 10 seconds behind us. Just 1 more final lap to keep it in front. We can see we're getting a warning for tyres, so this will be our final lap, but I'll still class it as a win if not. Just look where he is on the mini-map. He's getting real close. He's about a corner behind us. We can probably see him in the rear view. He's 4 seconds behind us. We need a good corner here. Get the car slowed down as best we can. He's right there. We just need to keep it in front on this straight. Seems like we might do it. We've just got 1 final corner. Can we get the car slowed down here? Yes, we can. Try not to spin it. But as we come through the final corner, George is there. This finish line is just down here. We're just over 2 seconds ahead. Finish in first. We are disqualified, but I am going to class it on this lap. And I do hope you enjoyed that video.